Speaking of EA.
Marty, I never want to make you bail out of the show.
She already said, speaking of EA.
No, that was actually I was just surprised about how good that
I know, that was
segued.
really good. It was natural. That's
Speaking
how
of
segues
EA,
work.
they bailed out of E3 and announced their own event, which is called EA Play. It's going to be in London and LA simultaneously.
Yeah.
That sounds awful.
Why?
We don't
it?
have
For our
Wow.
So they're doing it before E3.
No, they're doing it. I mean,
well, it's Sunday, which has become the new start of E3.
So
Thanks,
sorry.
Bethesda.
The reason I think
Pretty
that
much.
sounds awful, I'm thinking from a technical side and like what we're gonna have to deal with on video with like getting the signal from London and everything.
No, it's
So
going to be
that'll
available.
We'll be in LA.
So, yeah, I'm thinking
We're
that
gonna be
the conference is LA. They might stream it in London, but they're not going to do like another conference at the same time.
Yeah.
Which
Oh,
is my
okay.
first thing because I was like, what if one of them is faster than the other and they announce things at
Got
different
it.
times? But
Yeah.
I don't think that they'll do that though. They haven't explicitly said, I don't believe.
So EA's got the press. They'll do their press conference, which they have always done on Monday afternoon.
Around the Ubisoft.
It was always
after
the second
Ubisoft.
one.
Yeah.
Second
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
Or third one.
I think it's
Yeah, right, second one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
So
after
it's
Microsoft.
After Microsoft,
Yeah, it's
before
Microsoft,
Ubisoft.
Before-
EA, Ubisoft, and then the next day
Sony.
is
Or
So
Sony's that night.
they'll now do.
Oh,
they'll
really?
they're now going to jump the line on everybody else. Microsoft will no longer be first, although they weren't last year either. Bethesda was, but so yeah, they're going to go on Sunday with their press conference, and then at this whole. So this event's going to be open to the public, and I believe it said it's free.
It's free.
But
It's open to the public.
you'll have
It's
to
at-
get tickets.
It's at LA Live, right next to
The convention
center.
center. So this, if you live in LA or want to get to LA for E3 this year, you're guaranteed to at least be able to do something, and that's see and play a lot of EA things, because they're going to have hands-on game demos, competitions, live streaming, special guest appearances, exclusive memorabilia, meaning a pin, I'm sure, and much more.
Do you think Hoop God's going to be there?
Didn't
Good
they do
chance.
this before?
No.
They did this something like this where they had who was
not
was
in
it
my
Microsoft?
memory.
Was it Microsoft that did that? They like had something in a hangar around E3 time where people could come play all their products.
Yeah, Microsoft kind of did that last year where they had like a party. where
Well,
fans
there was a
could
fan
come,
fest,
but it
Yeah.
wasn't,
wasn't-
Not
really.
FanFest.
I mean, this is sort of
Somebody else
like,
did this
is sort of
before
like
and
their
it didn't
own,
go great.
This is sort of like their own
Yeah.
PSX, which I think is smart because PSX
EA,
has done
yeah.
super well
Yeah.
for.
PSX is a whole platform though with many different publishers and
Yeah.
developers. This is one
Yeah.
big one.
Yeah, I know,
They're
but
like
I mean,
EA.
in terms of publishers, EA is the biggest. So
yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder. Yeah, I mean, it's going to be interesting because Mirror's Edge will be out unless it gets delayed again, which would really be sad. I guess if there's a new Battlefield probably this year, I would
Battlefield.
think
Star
Mass
Wars
Effect.
DLC,
maybe hopefully Mass Effect.
No
if it's,
way.
if it's supposed to be out this
hands on
holiday.
with Andromeda.
It's supposed to be out this holiday?
Well, that's what they said in their trailer from
last year,
last year. They said fall 2016.
Oh, I thought it was 2017.
And then
They could do a slice like
no,
they did
so
with the
in
demo
their
for
trailers,
3.
Wow.
2016, and then
I mean, it could be whatever Amy Hennig's Star Wars game is.
Titanfall 2. Is that
Titanfall's-
would that be
Ooh.
a multiplayer thing you could play
Yeah.
at this?
Then
Yeah.
they have. They're gonna have
What
their
if-
entire roster of sports games. Whatever that
Yeah.
Criterion game is, that weird extreme sports thing
Oh,
that they
maybe
showed a while ago.
GoPro the game.
Go
So
play the game.
So I don't
Yeah.
think it'll be Mass Effect. I just think that it doesn't seem realistic to me to have like a vertical slice.
I mean,
but
you could have it's not necessarily
it
hands
could
on.
be-
Not as a playable thing. You're saying?
Yeah,
They
yeah,
could just have a
they'll-
presentation.
They'll have a
Yes,
presentation.
that's true.
Yeah.
Titanfall, though,
That
that
seems a lot
makes
more
sense
likely.
to me.
Yeah.
Like have 40 stations where people can just do multiplayer Titanfall like they
Yeah.
did with Star Wars
Yeah.
last year.
I feel like
Yeah.
to do this, what they're planning to do here, there has to be a game carrying it. And I feel like Titanfall 2 could be that game.
I
Yeah,
completely
agreed.
agree. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the bigger question I want to raise here is: so this means EA doesn't have a booth at E3 at all, and they had one of the
Biggest
gigantor
spaces.
booths right when you walk into.
Yeah,
The
that, booth,
Star
was
Hall,
that booth
yeah.
was really cool,
I
actually.
Yeah.
always confuse the two.
The hall that we're not.
They had the
in.
themed Star Wars thing set up with like the fake snow
Yeah,
and everything
yeah.
in the
people getting
back.
photos.
with
and
the
then-
huge,
It was
like
massive.
round screen thing.
Yeah.
And
And then there were like different little kind of alleyways you would go off to play the different games
Yeah.
that they had. It was a
so
really cool booth.
no booth, which means somebody's going to take that booth space. in
Or
at
multiple
E3,
people.
or multiple people.
Yeah.
And then-
already has a giant booth space. I mean, their booth space, if you look at the show floor plan, is actually 4 booths, and so that could easily be divided up.
But what
Yeah.
I wonder
Who,
here,
EA?
yeah,
Yeah.
what I wonder here is because remember in E3 2007, all the publishers went. They collectively went, you know what? We're tired of spending millions of dollars in this booth war, this
Yeah.
war of escalation every year. We're not gonna do this. We're gonna go do a little thing,
My first E3
at Santa Monica, which I went to, and it turned out then everybody realized that mainstream media didn't cover it at that point.
Yeah.
And so the next year it was back in the convention center, but it was still pretty small.
Yeah.
And there were only like 5,000 people at E3, and I kept seeing like the same people I knew in the halls back and forth all day. But and then it just sort of resumed back to
I want
as
there to
big as
only
it
be
ever
5,000
was.
people at E3.
Oh, wasn't
Yeah.
it so great?
That'd be amazing.
Well, now they're like boasting about their attendance, and that's not good.
I mean, it's good
Like,
for it's not
it's
good for us.
It's good for
It's not good for us.
it's good for the
trying to
industry.
do our jobs. It's great for the industry
Yeah.
and for anyone who
So,
gets to go.
How is it great that a bunch of people who do no coverage at all get to go? We already had this
well,
conversation.
again,
I don't want to.
It's not
get
great
in
for
trouble
us,
again.
but it's great for the people who do get to go. 'cause
And
it's
the
super exciting.
mainstream
suppose,
media
yeah.
will report, 50,000 people flooded the Los Angeles Convention Center this week for the Electronic Entertainment Expo.
Yeah.
So it's
It's
Talks
becoming.
up video games, I guess, but I also
Yeah.
see your point. Like, it's not good that media can't cover it. Like, there was like one thing I didn't have an appointment for, and I had to wait like 2 hours in a line.
Yeah.
It's like, this is just ridiculous that I can't cover this, and it's also being in this line is stopping me from covering other stuff in time, which my readers across the world who might want to see can't, because there's like 5 more people in this line than there should be because that's someone's uncle. Or
If they're
something.
gonna make E3 a public event, just do it. Like, stop doing this
Stop
halfway
pretending.
thing.
yeah, we've
Like,
long advocated
yeah.
for doing it the way TGS does it, which is have a couple of media days first
Definitely.
and then open it up
That'd
and
be
just have
great.
public days.
That would be amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Gamescom does the same thing.
Yeah, exactly.
That'd be really good.
But I wanted to bring up are we heading for the breaking up of the E3 monopoly again, like we saw in 2007? Is EA the first mover? Will other publishers now go, oh, well, let's just do our own thing instead of spending $1 million on the booth in the convention center?
Yeah.
And are we just going to have this big fragmented E3 again?
I mean, it'll depend on how this turns out. Like, they're sort of this is a litmus test.
Yeah.
Was anyone else at a different space aside from like Devolver last year?
No, everybody's in the convention center.
Yeah.
Yeah, other than Devolver's little trailer
Devolver
thing
space
outside.
wasn't too bad. It was a little hot over there, but I mean, it was
I
kind
thought
of
it was
smart.
cute.
They had
Yeah.
all these little trailers, so like each game kind of had their own area where you could have like a meeting with the developer. It was nice.
And
Yeah.
food?
I don't know.
And the food, yeah, of course.
I'm curious to see how this works for you.
And I will say for anybody listening or watching, so you're going to want to gear up for E3 2016. Start anchor down in front of your IGN Xbox One app to watch all of our coverage starting Sunday. We don't even know
early,
what time.
probably.
It
Yeah.
could be, if this press conference is in the afternoon. So, yeah.
When's Konami normally Sunday, right?
Konami has not done a press conference in a long time.
Well, yeah, they have the show that or whatever they do though before E3.
No.
Not
No?
in a while.
No.
And
All right.
also,
Maybe I'm
Konami
mistaken.
We'll have
fired
nothing.
anyone that's good at making video games. So,
Yeah, I mean, I think it'll be a little bit different. I don't think Bethesda's going to have a conference.
No, I feel like that conference last year was basically just a Fallout conference, and
Yeah.
I loved that they did that, and I loved
Yeah.
that it was so like actually gameplay heavy.
You don't think they'll do it again?
No, I don't think
No,
Bethesda will,
not
and I
until
think
the next Elder
Square
Scrolls.
will move into
Yeah.
EA's slot.
Bethesda did say after last year's, they were asked, of course, "Oh, are you guys going to do this every year?" And they very openly said, "We might not. We may not do this every year."
No, I think
And it
that
doesn't-
they'll do it for a new Elder Scrolls. They'll do it
Yeah.
for a new
Right,
Fallout.
it doesn't
What
make
about a
sense.
big piece of Fallout DLC though?
not worth a
I don't think
conference
it's worth a
for.
conference.
Yeah.
Well, they
Yeah.
still have Doom. That won't be released by that
It
point.
will.
Right?
It's due spring, so it
All right.
should be.
Yeah, I'm pretty
Never
sure
mind.
they won't do this year.
Yeah.
But
That
I
would
mean,
make
yeah,
sense.
because that's the thing. They don't have any other. I don't think they have enough of a lineup that they could do another conference right now.
Yeah.
Like everything
If
came
everything's
out,
released, then
When's
yeah, it would be
Dishonored?
difficult.
When's Dishonored?
It's not dated.
we don't know yet.
Yeah,
So they could
and that's
show
not
I
that.
still
big
don't think
enough.
they could do it though.
Yeah.
But assuming Doom is out, Fallout just came out.
I mean, and when you consider how much of that conference was,
Was
Fallout,
Fallout.
it was
Yeah.
like half an hour.
Yeah.
So it was
Almost.
like
It's half of it.
getting rid of that. What are they going to do?
And Fallout Mobile.
Yeah, I was so
That's
excited
true,
about
yes,
that.
Fallout Shelter.
I played it for like a week or two.
I still
Everybody
play
did.
it every time
Really?
I get on a plane.
Yeah.
Play it on flights.
Why not?
Well,
Good
because
time.
it's slow and crashy. But aside from that, and there's
Why
absolutely
not?
no
Oh,
end
all
game.
the bad stuff.
And once you get past like 20 dwellers, then there's just nothing to do. But
Yeah.
still pick it up sometimes.
All
I
right.
really liked it when it was announced.